It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Sears Hometown Store, locally owned and operated right here in Mountain Home.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, Southern Missouri. It is Thursday, August 25th, 2020. It's 7 a.m.
There you go.
Yep.
That's all I got to say about that. Whoop, whoop. That's it.
Whoop, whoop, huh?
That's it. It's a nice morning, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not bad.
Nice
morning. Drive in. I came in on the hill, came in over by the old Burger King by the Elks Lodge, and came down the hill. I love looking at Mountain Home in the morning. You come down, you're heading west, you see everything, and it's real pretty this morning. So, yeah, beautiful morning. Hope your Tuesday morning's off to a great start. I'll get you going today. 4 months from today's Christmas.
Oh, don't even go there.
September, October, November, December. 4 months from today, Scooter.
Guys, do not go out and start buying ornaments. And it is, and I think they probably already got Christmas stuff going.
I don't know. I haven't been to Walmart since February.
They started putting out stuff, but no, that was Halloween stuff they were putting out. So.
I literally, one time I was at Walmart and they had the Halloween stuff set up and they had the skeleton there and they had Christmas ornaments dangling from his ears for earrings,
Doesn't surprise me.
4 months from today, dude. 4 months.
No, we're not counting down from today. We're not doing this. No.
Welcome to Down on the Corner program, brought to you by your hometown Sears store at 1029 Highway 62 East. I can't say enough good things about your Sears hometown store. They have the very best in home appliances, home entertainment, tools, lawn care equipment, whatever you need. Check with Sears first. Locally owned and operated. Yeah, you've got your box stores east of town, but you got Sears right downtown. KitchenAid, Whirlpool.
Did he leave that Labor Day sale out?
Yeah,
he'd take it. Yeah, I need to look at that.
Well, you want me to go get it?
They always got no, you don't have to right now. But they've got some big sales that they do, and usually their sales are big sales.
Yes,
I mean you really save some money. It's really worth going in.
And then the lawn care equipment, not only Craftsman but Husqvarna. You're a Husqvarna fan, and you enjoy their power equipment, and serves you well.
They do all their work in-house, and that means all their repairs, everything they do right here in-house. J.R. Hightower is the owner of the he's been working on appliances and mowers and stuff his whole life. And he's now got servicemen he's hired. I mean, they do everything right inside.
And, that's almost a lost art.
It is.
You used to have the repair shops in every corner. Bring your radio here, bring your washing machine here, or whatever, Emmett's Fix-It shop on Andy Griffith. You used to be able to repair a toaster.
I can believe that, yeah.
I mean, it used to be, you remember the ladies had the steam irons?
Well, we weren't a disposable world back then. I mean, everybody got stuff, and they kept it, and they got it repaired when it needed to.
We had this oscillating fan that Mom and Dad had from the mid-'50s, and something to get, one of his kids to knock down, crack the blade. He'd go downtown Belleville. I need a set of blades for the Westinghouse, blah, blah, $3, put a new set of blades on the fan. Now you just throw the fan away and go buy another one.
Yeah. It's disposable.
Yeah. Anyway, your hometown Sears store, they have the very best in home appliances, home entertainment, tools, lawn care equipment. The list goes on and on. Check out your hometown Sears store. They're in the parking lot up behind Wendy's on the hill, in the same parking lot as Orsolin's, out in front of Physical Therapy Connection. Your hometown Sears store, 425-3191. Like I say, I can't say enough good things about your local hometown Sears store. The Sears name continues on. It's been that way for well over 100 years. And right here, they continue that great tradition of service and great products. Your hometown Sears store in Mountain Home, 1029 Highway 62 East, 870-425-3191. I'm enjoying Brewed Awakening coffee. You can do the same thing. 3 locations to serve you. 2 are drive-through, 1 at Bomber Boulevard, 1 at 62 East Plaza in front of Anytime Fitness. At 7:04 in the morning with schools in session. It could get a little busy between now and 7:45, 7:50 perhaps. And also you got Baxter Regional Lobby. So don't forget, the best coffee in town is Brewed Awakening. Mike says, we are real coffee, and that sets them apart from everybody else. He told me, he says, I place an order on those coffee beans, and they roast them and send them to me. So he gets them almost right out of the oven. The very freshest ground coffee beans for your mochas, your lattes, your frappuccinos, and your standard black coffee. And they've got the pumpkin spice and the French vanilla, whatever you want. Brewed Awakening coffee is the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and his staff do a great job to serve you at all 3 locations. Of course, at Baxter Regional, you have to go through the check booth or whatever it is to, for the COVID-19 stuff. So just follow the rules there. Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. Check them out. 2 locations to serve you as drive-thrus. 1 you just walk into at the hospital. Brewed Awakening Coffee, the very best coffee in town. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes, 29 in the state of Arkansas to serve you, with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Here in town, you can talk to Brad, Bruce, Charlotte, Chris. Anyone there can help you. Could be somebody there that I don't know. Caring, loving, understanding. They can get you through a very rough time. Friend, family member, whatever it may be that has passed, let Roller Funeral Homes handle it. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes, they bring you the morning prayer each and every day. So let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, with all the doom and gloom we hear on the news coming from the liberals on how bad our economy is, it kind of gets me a bit confused. We're in a virus pandemic, they say, but how can it be a pandemic with a 99% worldwide recovery rate? But anyway, the virus plus constant temper tantrums from BLM, our stock market has almost fully recovered to the high mark set earlier this year. I've always said if it works, don't fix it. The market is doing well. The future of our economy is good. In spite of it all, Lord, you are blessing us again. Basically, the Dow Jones closed yesterday with a mark of 10,000 points, higher than ever seen in the previous administration, yet they want to fix it. Lord, my prayer is basically this. Please continue to bless our economy, help those needing jobs find one, but overall, thank you for blessing us. We appreciate the blessings, and we say thank you. That's my prayer today. Amen. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
And now,
here it comes.
Dun, dun, dun,
I was ready
for
that
weather.
Brought to you by the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793, retiredarkansas.net. Time to take a look at the White River. Oh my goodness, look at that. Beautiful, clear sky, sunrise, 7:07 in the morning on
a little
August 25th.
bit of haze coming off the river there, which makes for a pretty shot.
Wow. You're looking into Baxter County, Arkansas. From Marion County, Arkansas, the river separates the 2 counties. You're looking into the city of Cotter. We have a lot of fine folks there, good friends, and just a wonderful little community, Cotter, Arkansas. The clearing up to the front center part of the screen is the Baseball Park Railroad Museum, the 62-412 bridge to the left of the screen. You can see a little bit of fog on the river to the right side of the screen. And you can go to retiredarkansas.net, look at the live webcam, and bring this up all throughout the day. There's a little camera icon at the lower right where you can take pictures. It'll be a still frame of what you're seeing here. Share it with friends or family. Save it as a desktop or a backdrop on your computer or other devices. The Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, for all your real estate needs. They are the award-winning Z-Team, receiving the highest award available through the Corporate Century 21 incorporation. And some folks said, well, we've never even seen that in the state of Arkansas, but they have obtained the highest, they've achieved the highest award possible through the Century 21 Corporation. Bob and Linda Zadora, the award-winning Z-Team. Linda is a professional stager, so when you list your home with the Z-Team, you have the advantage of having her set the house at your discretion, and that gives that certain eye appeal like, oh, wow, and that helps secure the sale of the home. Get ready when you call the Z-Team. If you're getting ready to sell the house, you better get your suitcases out and get the pickup truck sideboards on, get ready to move, because it's going to happen.
They're moving them.
I tell you what, they were down under 300 on Monday, and so the MLS needs some listings. If you're considering it, talk to the Z-Team. They can advise you. Even before you get the paperwork out to sign and say, well, we're thinking about this, talk to the Z-Team. They can advise you on what steps to take, and they can help you every step of the way. The Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, for all your real estate needs, 870-405-0793, retiredarkansas.net. Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. 68 degrees in Mountain Home, Harrison, and Batesville. 65 at Salem. 68 at Calico Rock. Flippin checks in at 67. Marshall a little bit cooler at 64. At 65 in West Plains. 69 in St. Louis. 68 at Poplar Bluff. Springfield a little bit warmer than everybody else there at 72. And it's warmer in Watford City, North Dakota, in contrast to us. 2 degrees warmer in Watford City, North Dakota this morning. They're starting the day at 70 degrees. Oh, I thought I was going to get by without having to refresh this on the air. I think this is like the 4th time this morning. National radar, we're showing a little bit coming in to the southern part of the country in the Gulf, Montgomery, Alabama, towards
that in motion, would you?
Yeah, let me get it reset here. Yeah, I got to get Montana and North Dakota in there. There we go. There we go. So you see from New Orleans up to Montgomery to Atlanta to Columbia to Charlotte, a little bit of shower activity there. Then we get a little bit northwest of Philadelphia to Hartford, Connecticut, back up into Maine. A little bit northern Indiana coming off the lake, coming in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, crossing Lake Michigan, out of Wisconsin into Indiana. I'll spit it out here in a minute. Other than that, no watches or warnings that I can see right now, or heavy rain, I should say. We do have a spot down around Forest City popping up. It's closer to the river than Forest City. You see it over here just, yeah. Well, look at that. It's moving east to west. Look at that. Did you see that?
Yep.
That's weird. That must be a river effect coming off Mississippi River. Anyway, a little bit of shower activity on I-40 down around Forest City, Arkansas. It's the only thing I'm seeing here in the state. Other than that, all the other highways are clear. 62, 412 east and west, Highway 63, Highway 65, 67, 167, all the interstates except for that right there on I-40. 30, 40, 49, 55, 555, and 530 in Arkansas clear. Moving up into Missouri, I-55 towards Sykeston, Cape Girardeau, St. Louis, looking good there. A little bit to the northwest of Carbondale, Illinois, not much hitting the ground there. I-44, 49, 70, 55 in Missouri, I-64 east, St. Louis, Illinois east to Mount Vernon in good shape, I-57 in Illinois with a light shower there to the west of it there. Other than that, no watches or warnings for Arkansas. We do have, of all things, a heat advisory for Louisiana and Texas in the southern and southeast part of those two states, plus northwest Illinois, eastern Iowa, southwest and west Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, and most of South Dakota with a heat advisory. Plus you have all the storm warnings in the Gulf of Mexico, basically from the west coast of Florida all the way into all the east coast of Texas and the southern coast of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. 7-day forecast for today. High today 94 with clear skies, and Wednesday we go from a 30 to a 60% chance of showers back to a 30, a 50, a 60, a 30, a 20, a 50 through Saturday. So if you were taking notes, hope I was slow enough for you. Temperatures 94, 88, 87, 87, and 90 throughout the week. The lows are range in the low 70s to high 60s. We need the rain. We really do. Checking I-Drive Arkansas earlier today, we had some accidents. I say there's still one reported here in Pine Bluff, Highway 63. Northbound lane, Troop E, Arkansas State Police handled that on Highway 63 around Pine Bluff. North of Batesville, Arkansas, we have an accident on Highway 25. Been on that highway before. That's a nice drive there. And let's see, all lanes impacted there. Intersection with Highway 233, which is just right around the Batesville area with that accident there. Checking Missouri Department of Transportation. They're still working on the Lick Creek Bridge. Highway 201 in Arkansas, north of town, turns into Highway J. If you're visiting the Twin Lakes area, you need to go to Missouri, use Highway 5 to go to Springfield, use Highway 101 to go to West Plains, save you a little bit of time. Bull Shoals Lake, 679.43, 20.4 feet above 659, the normal pool. Norfolk Lake, 565.18, 13.1 feet above 552, their normal pool. And allergy index, I was telling Scooter this morning before we went on the air, look at this, 10, 10.1, and 10.2. With this storm coming in the Gulf, it just keeps going up. I thought it'd start knocking it down, but we're high today and higher tomorrow. Ragweed, chinnopods, and nettle, and you can hear it in my voice this morning, just kind of gravelly voice today. 61,683 coronavirus, serious or critical, with 6.577, I'm going to say 6.578 million, 99% mild condition across the world. That's not the state, that's the world. Your Arkansas cases, we've dropped 127 cases overnight of active cases into recovery. The 6-county area right now, we have 515 positive, tested in Baxter, Marion, Searcy, Stone, Izard, and Fulton. 182 active with 332 recovered. 64% recovery rate, 35% active to positive. So of the tested, only 35% have tested positive. Your active to population, 0.001735 out of 10,618 tested positive, recovered 332 in the 6-county area.
Click on that active map, would you?
Yeah, let's see.
That way we kind of get an idea of what's current.
Yep. Oil price is holding steady at $41.82. I think it dropped a penny. Dow Jones Industrial, look at this. We're almost back to where we were earlier in the year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 378.13 points, closing at 28,308, and we're about 1,500 points from where we were with record high territory in the Dow Jones earlier in the year. Morning weather, all the updates, the stock market report, and everything brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zador for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. Coming up, a pre-recorded interview with Congressman Rick Crawford of the 1st Congressional District of Arkansas. And you'll notice Scooter don't have any hair because he pulled it a lot because I went a little bit long in this interview. So we're going to play as much of it as we can. We've got 2 or 3 sections to play throughout the rest of the show. And then we'll interject where we need to. Right now, a quick break coming up, and then Rick Crawford, 1st Congressional District Congressman from the state of Arkansas. Be right back.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Hi, we're Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, and we'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z-Team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z-Team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiretoarkansas.net.
It takes the right gear to survive out here. Oh, there she is, Ferris. It's the best gear around. Strong as an ox. Safe as houses. Out back, there's one powerful beast. Awesome. 4-wheel suspension. Handles whatever Mother Nature throws at you. Designed to take the hard out of hard work and deliver all the power you could need. So if you want to tackle the great outdoors, get yourself a Ferris.
Get the only mower with suspension technology at Mower Warehouse in Mountain Home, where they accept mower trade-ins, have flexible financing options, and services all brands and models. That's Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we're here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we have installed a convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go and pick-up orders. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and ask us about our daily specials for a low price to feed the whole family. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
Have you ever
It's my pleasure to introduce Rick Crawford, our Congressman from the 1st Congressional District of Arkansas, Republican, of course. Congressman, it's always a pleasure to see you. It's been a while, but appreciate your work and what's going on. I know you're about to pull your hair out in the House of Representatives. I'm just going to let you have this time and reach the people of North Central Arkansas. We're being seen from Boone County back over to about Sharp, Fulton, Izard, Stone, all the way down into Independence County. So we got a good chunk of Arkansas that can see you today. So welcome, and what's on your mind today,
Excellent.
Congressman?
Well, glad to be able to join you today. It's been a while since I've been up there. This COVID-19 thing has sort of curtailed what our regular travel schedule would entail, but we're having to do things virtually. So, spending time with you online versus sitting down in studio with you, and so there's a little bit lost there, but technology is great and helps us sort of bridge those gaps to some degree. But I miss being able to travel, and one of the great things about this job is, represent 30 counties, driving around from town to town, county to county, and interacting with constituents. And so I'm looking forward to getting that routine back in order.
Understand.
Sort of a return to normalcy, for lack of a better term.
I'm going to bring up on the screen so everybody can see the 1st Congressional District. You serve from Baxter County to Searcy County, back over to the Mississippi River, all the way down to the Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, 3-state area. So you've got a very, very large district, including West Memphis, all the way down to Chico County and Lake Village. And so you've got a large, large district. So we appreciate your work and want people to see that map to know exactly, how much ground you have to cover as Congressman for the 1st Congressional District.
And we have to cover it all by ground. I can't tell you how many times I've had people volunteer to fly me around, and it would be so much more convenient to be able to do that, but we're restricted from that type of thing. So it all has to be done by vehicle, which is fine because on the ground you can see some things, you can stop in and visit with folks and things like that, but it does require a lot more time. And I on the one hand, it would be convenient to be able to fly around and meet more people. But on the other hand, you get to see things from the ground that you might miss from the air that you could stop and look at. And even in time of COVID-19, I still like to get out and drive around and do the windshield thing.
Sure.
And that allows me to do that. So it's a very diverse district, as you mentioned, from the Delta to the Ozarks, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy the people. The people are as diverse as the topography, and I like it.
Well, with your education background in agriculture, it's a perfect fit, because we have of course, you got the crops in the east central part, southeast Arkansas, and then up here, you got more cattle and poultry in north central Arkansas. It basically starts here and goes west. But still, I think it's a perfect fit for your educational background to be able to represent the 1st Congressional District because of the agri-business in that region and the lumber in southeast Arkansas.
Oh, sure, I think so. And it's I think that oddly enough, we talk about we're in a redistricting year. It's been 10 years, and we're talking about redrawing the maps. And just so people know, as a reminder, it was the Democrats that drew this map. They drew that in as a result of the census, and so in 2012, my district looked different when I campaigned, and so it took in several counties down in southeast Arkansas all the way to the Louisiana line, and that was done to make it more difficult for a Republican. But in fact, what we've done is really built a lot of a strong base of support in the southeast part of the state, and it fits the district really well from the standpoint of agriculture production down there. It's the same kind of thing you see all up and down the Mississippi River. So it didn't really change the dynamics of the district culturally or otherwise that we had always been prepared for. But now, some 10 years later, we're talking about redistricting, and the Democrats have forgotten that they're the ones that drew the maps in the first place. So it wasn't as though there was some gerrymandering done on the part of Republicans. But as you see, the district was drawn by Democrats, and yet it has gotten, I've been here 10 years. They weren't successful in drawing me out of the district. So
There you go. Let's hit the stuff head on, Congressman. The COVID-19, what was the gentleman up in Minneapolis killed by George Floyd incident? We've got city after city, statues coming down, people having to protect their homes in a gated community in St. Louis with firearms. Where are we? This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Ironically, you have Chicago Mayor Lightfoot actually expanding protection of her home, and she says she has a right to protect herself. She made that statement yesterday. I would remind her that we have the right to protect ourselves as well. So, I mean, that is enshrined in the Constitution, and so sometimes I think this selective application of constitutional protections is a little more than most of us in the flyover country can tolerate. The reality is, and I was speaking with some folks yesterday in Mountain View, and a woman called in and said, "Hey, I hope they don't try this here in Arkansas. What you're seeing in Portland and Seattle, and Chicago, and Washington D.C. and other places." They're going to meet with some stiff resistance, and I'm afraid that if they believe that folks in Arkansas would tolerate that type of behavior, they miss their guess.
Well, what's that funny thing on Facebook? There's a lady saying that BLM and Antifa's coming, and she's got this big old rifle. Says, "Well, hurry up! I got a pie in the oven." She's got this big old thing on the front porch.
Yeah.
But
it's really a shame, that Antifa has co-opted BLM and turned it into something that it really is not about advocating for Black lives. It's more about it's stated on their website. It's a Marxist organization that is committed to the overthrow of the United States government.
Well, and Congressman, I want to throw this out at you. I've heard from about 5 different people in 5 different parts of Arkansas that on the BLM manifesto, they claim that pedophiles should be treated in the same respect as a natural love as homosexuality, heterosexuality, and they're claiming that a pedophile should be granted that same type of so-called immunity from prosecution. And, right now we're dealing, even in north central Arkansas, with the human sex trafficking issue. Your thoughts on that?
Well, again, I think you've got a very misguided group of people that are espousing beliefs that, as Bernie Sanders said the other day, he said this very recently, just a few short years ago, might have been deemed radical, but that are now viewed as mainstream. Now, I don't think there's anything mainstream about pedophilia at all. However, once you start down that slippery slope, where do you stop? And that's what we're seeing now in terms of, the kind of policies that leftists are supporting, that they're not even making a pretense anymore of trying to sort of, cloak any of that in some level of secrecy or whatever. And I'll give you an example. I mean, we've all heard about Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. And that's been something that we've talked about as conservatives, as Republicans, where, listen, a lot of these Democrats, they read the book, and those are the tactics that they use, and the tactics espoused in that book are sort of, a slow burn over time, sort of infiltrate institutions and so on with these radical ideas, and over time they become mainstream. Well, let me just point something out to you, that I was in a committee hearing on a WebEx, which I hate doing committee hearings via WebEx, but the Democrat chairman insisted that's the way we do it, as opposed to having those committee hearings live. And one of the members from California, you can choose your backdrop, by the way. He chose, his backdrop was his home, his office at home, which is fine, but there's a bookcase behind him, and very strategically placed on the shelf in full view within the shot on the WebEx was the book, Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. Now, why do I mention that? I mention that because they're not even making an attempt even a slight pretense in pretending that they're not affiliated. Now they're openly embracing Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. And so we have come to a point, we've been talking about this for 20 years, but we have come to a point now where the secret's out, we know what they're trying to do, and they're not even making a pretense of hiding it. And what's worse is the establishment media are making it more easy. They're complicit, in fact, assisting in the agenda at every turn. So, you look at what's taking place on CNN, MSNBC, and other legacy media institutions, New York Times, Washington Post, and others, and you can clearly see that what you have now basically are propaganda arms for the Democrat Party.
So you have to deal with Nancy Pelosi, and you've got my utmost sympathy with that, and some of these crazy ideas. Your thoughts on Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi? The rumor has it that Joe Biden, if he were elected, would be resigning probably by April or May because of dementia issues that would put Harris in as VP, and then her appointee, of course, be approved by the House and Senate. Your thoughts? Is that a rumor? Could that actually happen? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, rumor or not, it's actually it could happen. And if you look at the cognitive decline of Joe Biden over the last couple of years as he's engaged in this campaign, you can see that the evidence would support removing him under the 25th Amendment. Now, keep in mind that there were a whole lot of never-Trumpers that were trying to use the 25th Amendment to justify his removal, saying that he was, mentally unfit for the job. And so we've already seen that the discussion about the 25th Amendment and the application to a president that we don't like. And so this sort of supports the argument of Joe Biden being a Trojan horse. In fact, Kamala Harris was foursquare against him and called him said as much in terms of, insinuating with very little ambiguity that he was in fact a racist because of his voting record and statements about busing and integration and so on. And so, I would have thought that would not have been a good pairing. And then, so and the other thing that you have to remember is that she fared pretty poorly in the Democrat primary. In fact, she was one of the first ones to drop out because she couldn't build any base of support. And so why select her to be the running mate? And, you can see that she is some way. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could speculate any number of reasons why she was the choice for Joe Biden. But that is an odd pairing, and it does sort of beg the question, what is the agenda here? And I would raise that question regardless of who he chose, because of his accelerated state of decline over the last few months. You can see it every time he addresses the public, when he does, which is not frequently. And he does it from his home in Wilmington, Delaware, which no other candidate could get away with that. And this gets back to my point about the complicit media, that they're basically allowing this to go unchecked. In fact, they come out and make a statement before a gaggle of media and then don't take questions. Whereas the president will stand there for an hour or longer and personally field questions in a media conference. And I don't think I've ever seen any president be as accessible and be as willing to engage the media, despite the fact that they're doing everything they can to discredit and detract from his ability to be the president of the United States. And then that he still maintains that presence before the media, engages with them, reaches out to the American people. And what this has devolved into is just a visceral hatred of this guy, because the Democrats believe that their anointed Hillary Clinton was supposed to be the president, and when it didn't work out that way, they have still not
they haven't accepted it.
The result. Yeah. And so that's the other thing I find completely ironic, that they talk about President Trump potentially not accepting the results of the election. And I'm waiting for them to accept the results of the 2016 election. And they still haven't done it.
No. Time for that break. This is an edit point in the recording, so we're going to be right back with you, Rick, but we're going to take a commercial break for those watching. We'll be right back with Congressman Rick Crawford right after this.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Hi, I'm Benny with Ammo Dump.
At Ammo Dump, they carry new and used firearms, large supply of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. Ammo Dump will buy, sell, or trade in your item and can special order whatever you like. They also have knives, scopes, ammo of any caliber, and provide gun cleaning and restoration. Call them today for the best competitive pricing around.
If I don't have it or can't get it because they don't make it, come and see us.
That's Ammo Dump, located next to Woodman's Package in Norfolk.
Did you know when you shop at Sears Hometown Stores, you are supporting your local community? That's right. Your local Sears Hometown Store is locally owned and operated by one of your neighbors. Their store offers the best of what Sears has to offer with the top brands and appliances, tools, and lawn and garden. They also offer great financing options that work no matter what you need. Remember to stop by your local Sears Hometown Store today and support a local member of your community.
Driftwood Lanes. Fun happens here.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
At MSI, they're not just another trash service. They're your friendly, family-owned and operated trash service, providing residential, commercial, and roll-off pickup. MSI offers competitive rates and services 5 counties in the north central Arkansas area. Various dumpster sizes available for commercial and accommodating you with weekly pickup for your convenience. Call Tammy or Kathy today at MSI. MSI Trash Service, small enough to know you and large enough to service you.
Take us. And we're back with our Congressman Rick Crawford, Republican Congressman, 1st Congressional District of Arkansas. Congressman, I got to throw this out at you. The COVID-19, how ironic in March of 2020, a major presidential election year, that we'd get hit with something this crazy and seeing businesses and churches and schools and activities and sports and things totally changed, canceled, whatever it may be. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. We're tired of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm tired of it too. I mean, I think it has really fundamentally altered social discourse in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that social discourse and you know, social media civility, if there is such a thing, has been in sharp decline for years. And I really think that we need to get back to you know, a level of interaction among our fellow citizens that sort of you know, engenders a much more respectful tone to your fellow man. and we're social media has sort of created that dynamic to a large degree, and it's not just as we would like to blame millennials for this phenomenon. That's not the case, because this has taken place, and you've seen it alter people's conduct online. Age 8 to 80. It really knows no specific, socioeconomic status. I mean, it's across the board. You see it, regardless. Rich people, poor people, black people, white people, doesn't matter. What we've seen is really I think a decline in the quality of our interactions as a result of social media. Now, add the social distancing and the quarantining and all that other kind of stuff, and now you've made it even worse. And so I want to get us to a point where we can get on the other side of this and really sort of recapture that mutual respect that I think that you afford, particularly people that you don't know. I mean, you give people the benefit of the doubt. You don't just attack people, and then just a level of civility that I think has been lost over the last several years.
I'm looking right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, this whole episode with the pandemic has really made it even worse, because now I think we were socially distanced because of social media platforms, but now we are codifying that by physically distancing ourselves, removing ourselves. And look, I'm a respecter of personal space. I don't like anybody to get in my face. I like to keep a little bit of a buffer and respect people's personal space physically and otherwise. But the idea that you can go to your son's football game, but only one parent can go, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean,
cardboard cutouts at Wrigley Field and Busch Stadium. It's crazy.
Exactly. I mean, it's things like that are almost laughable. And we didn't react this way to H1N1. We have routinely large numbers of deaths associated with seasonal flus that we don't always see coming. And this particular virus, I think, it really instilled so much fear because of the unknown. It was something we hadn't heard of, dealt with to this degree, and didn't know the extent to which it could proliferate and things of that nature. So I think there's so much fear involved in the response that it has done some long-term damage to quality of life, to the economy, and just in general to social discourse.
I'm looking right now at the Arkansas Department of Health COVID-19 case update. This is at 9:22 a.m. Friday, August 21st, when this is being recorded. 54,765 cases with a recovery of 48,458. Active right now, 5,666. If you do the math, it's a 0.884%, 88.5% recovery rate as we're speaking at this recording time, Congressman. So I think these numbers, when you've got an 88.4% recovery, basically 88.5% recovery rate out of a state of 3.081 million people, I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think so. I think it has to do with trying to apply as much common sense as broadly as you can. Trying to, again, as I said before, respecting your fellow man. And I don't like wearing a mask, but if that's what it takes for us to be able to get out and engage in economic activity, or to go to your children's extracurricular activities and be a part of that, to go to church or whatever, okay, I'm willing to wear the mask until we start to see the statistics improve. I'm not going to debate the science of it. It's not necessary if it in my opinion, if it makes you feel, to back that up with science, then that's fine. If it doesn't, the fact is, it's probably, at least for now, I think it's if that's the cost of doing business, to put a mask on, I'm willing to do that. And I think if we just sort of recognize that, okay, this is not, it's not forever. It's a temporary thing, But if it means us being able to go out and regain some sense of normalcy, then I'm willing to do that.
You know, Easter Sunday back in April, I was in the tech area of my church, Eastside Baptist. We had 22 people on Easter Sunday. Year before, I've seen 1,500 people there.
Oh,
I'm looking now at some pictures of the John Lewis funeral, and you've got all the Democrat dignitaries there, not a mask in sight.
Well, that's right. And then they immediately got on a plane and came back to Washington. And so, again, what you see is sort of a selective application of these rules and standards. And so it's quite clear that what this has devolved into is to sort of a political dynamic, unfortunately. And so it's the same argument people make about, I can't go to church, but I can go to a protest.
Yeah, exactly.
Only if the protest though supports an agenda that's acceptable to, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and others. So they don't like the idea of a Trump vote parade, for example. That's something that's reprehensible. But it's okay for thousands of people to gather in the streets to protest. Any other defund the police, for example. It's okay to rally to that cause and not observe social distancing, not wear a mask if you don't want to.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can't go and corporately praise our Lord and Savior because that would cause a spike in coronavirus cases. I find that to be very duplicitous and politically questionable.
Yeah. Lost my train of thought here for a second. Dr. Fauci had a video that was pulled by Facebook where he was in a some type of governmental hearing, and of course he's got his mask on and he's talking, but there was a camera that would be, as he was facing the chairman, a camera to his left, and when he got up he didn't know that the recording was still going. He takes his mask off and you can see his associate, apparently a female in a coral type top, and you can see her mask hanging from her left ear. So as soon as the hearing was over, he's taken off. Then he was at Washington Ballpark watching a baseball game, and he's sitting there, chair to chair to chair, 3 people. He's not wearing a mask. Is this the pot calling the kettle black again?
Well, sure. And I think that really incenses people that it's do as I say, not as I do type stuff. And these are things that, we try to model good behavior for our children. We expect our leaders to do that and to model good behavior. And, look, as leaders, people they're going to fall short from time to time, but, at least make the effort to follow through with what you're suggesting everybody else do. And so I thought that was, a little bit of a bad optic, to say the least, to be sitting there in Nationals Park after having thrown out the first pitch. And, I mean, we can argue about how good that first pitch was, but, the point was that, but I mean, not everybody is Nolan Ryan, but that's fine. I mean, but I mean, the point is, at least at that point, you're up there enjoying the game, and God bless you. But you just told us to put masks on, and to social distance, and now you're
he's
sitting
not doing
up there
either one,
amongst people not doing either one of those things, and so I just think that the optics of that is really bad. And so, I mean, which is it? Are we to put on the mask and social distance, or are we to, cozy up to others and enjoy the game as we would in any other circumstance? And look, I think the answer is if we need, as I said before, if we need to wear a mask to be able to go out for now, I'm willing to do that if it helps improve our economy in terms of, getting people back to work is my primary concern. Getting people back on the job, and if it means they have to wear a mask to do it, I'm okay with that for now. But at some point in time, people are going to tire of that, and there better be some really strong data to support it, or people are going to say, "Why are we continuing to do this?" And the fact of the matter is, there has been, all kinds of conflicting information about the value of wearing masks. In fact, I've even seen some studies that suggest that wearing the mask may make the problem worse in some cases.
That's what I've heard.
But that's neither, that's neither here nor there. That's fine. If the leadership says, let's wear a mask, then let's try to, follow a suit and be, be as compliant as we can be under the circumstances. But I do think there is a timeline here that has to be addressed on how long are we going to do this? And I was asked this last night, from somebody, look, hey, how long is this going to go on? When are we going to still be doing this in December? Is this going to continue on into next year? And I can tell you what I'm hearing from constituents is 2020 may be the worst year any of us can remember. And they just want this year finished and in the rearview mirror and move on and start over.
Yes.
And the mask is sort of emblematic of this year. And I think it really has started to, it has really started to take a toll on people psychologically. And, on the one hand, I mean, you've got folks out there that are, the arts and crafts folks that are making some really neat looking masks, and, and then you have others that are using the opportunity to sort of brand and represent their company, put a logo on it. Different agencies are doing the same thing. I had one of my constituents and who I consider a friend of U.S. Forest Service gave me a stack of masks the other day that had Smokey the Bear on it. Only you can prevent forest fires.
I'd like to have one of those.
I love that. Sure, I love that. But but that's what this has become. It's in a way it's almost farcical. And then the other thing is are these masks really working? I mean, because the material that are used for these masks are, they're not doing this to N95 masks. They're doing this to, cotton that may or may not have an effect.
And the N95, you're probably aware of this, the N95 is only for the intake and not the exhaust. So if I had it and I breathe out, it's not going to help. And I've done that study.
That's the other thing. You can go spend $25, $30 on a really high-speed, low-drag mask. It has these little ports.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing, again, work, filtering air coming in. It doesn't work filtering the air coming out. So you're protecting yourself, and that's good. But the mask, we were told, was to prevent you potentially possibly an asymptomatic carrier from infecting others. And so, I mean, are we really achieving that goal? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not trying to be flippant about this at all, but I think these are relevant questions that really haven't been adequately answered.
Yeah, I understand. We're going to take that final break. Edit point here for the recording for folks watching live on TV. We're visiting with Congressman Rick Crawford, Republican Arkansas 1st Congressional District. Be right back. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with 2 experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
When When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
And we're visiting with our Congressman Rick Crawford, Republican of the 1st Congressional District of Arkansas. It's been a pleasure talking with you. We've got about 6 more minutes before we have to finish this out. I'm looking right now at 9:32 a.m. Central Daylight Time. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up right now. I'm going to put my glasses on here, Congressman. We are up 56.73 at 27,796. We've seen it drop to just above the 18,000 mark. Now we've almost fully recovered since the decline in March. The NASDAQ is up at 11,305 at this minute, and the New York Exchange is off just a little. It's down 33 points. But I think our market is a reflection of the positive outlook of this administration. No, we're not going to let a COVID-19 virus get us down, especially when you can recover over the late spring and early summer and come back and rebound almost within 4, 5, 6 months with almost a 10,000-point rebound in the stock market.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's got to be reassuring, particularly those individuals who have, 401ks that they're relying on for the retirement incomes and other sources of income through these investments that help fund their retirement. So, that's got to be encouraging, and I think it should be a pretty strong signal to the rest of America that we're on the right track financially. I've seen poll after poll that suggests that on the economy, Trump beats Biden by double digits. And so I think typically that is the driving force in elections, particularly elections of president.
So what have you heard on the unemployment situation? I think we're still in pretty good shape on the national scene with the unemployment. I mean, we were at record lows with unemployment, record lows with home loan interest rates,
Well, look, I think we are back in a point where we're somewhere at or maybe slightly below 10% unemployment. I think at our best, and I think it's probably best ever. I think maybe 3.5%. So we've got some, and let's be honest about it. I mean, 3.5%. That's almost full employment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we are, I think, trending in the right direction. There wasn't a slight uptick that actually, I think, sort of confused some folks for the month of July on unemployment claims, new unemployment claims. I think that they didn't expect that. The market responded a little bit to that yesterday, I think, to some degree. But I think you were seeing a trend in the right direction. We're definitely, I think, progressing in the right direction in terms of getting people back to work. And one of the things that I think that you'll see that will drive that is when we start to see, I think there was a major mistake made in providing $600 a week over and above your unemployment benefits. I think that when you see widespread unemployment, you have to do something, but I don't think that should have been a flat rate, taking the highest common denominator, which is New York, which is an extremely high-cost state that doesn't necessarily reflect the economic conditions of the other states, particularly states like Arkansas or Texas.
And I got a little long-winded. I lost track of the clock, got caught up in the interview with Congressman Rick Crawford, but we appreciate his time calling in last Friday. We recorded that starting at 9 o'clock last Friday, and I get this call.
Went a little over.
Scooter says, you went a little over. So we got to cut it short. Once again, our thanks to Congressman Rick Crawford for the interview that was recorded last Friday at about 9 o'clock Central Time. Hope you all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the weather.